Hello guys and welcome back to Don't Sell Hobbies, and in today's video we are going to be reviewing part 2 of Troll Hunter Season 1. So why did I decide to split this into two parts? Well, for one thing, my friend actually told me that there's about 13 episodes per season. All of Season 1 really should have been two seasons because it's actually two parts. There's actually a large amount of episodes. There's 26 episodes, where usually each season is 13. So they just decided to throw it all into one season. So that's why I decided to do this video into two parts, because I decided it's probably better to talk about the first 13 as a group and then the second 13 part as a group. So with that said, we are going to be talking about Troll Hunters Part 2 of Season 1. So, this is actually a much better part to me. I really like all of Troll Hunters Season 1. I really am enjoying myself. First off, I really like the character of Claire. Claire is, she's one of the best parts of the show for me at this point. Yeah, I really like Claire joining the team, going to Troll Market for the first time, meeting Finral, and everything. Everything was just fantastic. And then there are just certain moments throughout the rest of the season that I just really enjoy. I mean, Blinky turns into a human being. That was really weird. And there's a lot of really good moments throughout the rest of the season. But what's the story here? Well, Claire's brother is unfortunately still trapped in the Darklands, and it's really funny because not Enrique, actually, that little twerp, not Enrique, he actually looks like a goblin to me, even though I know he's one of the changeling trolls. He looks like a goblin to me, but yeah, him actually. He became one of the best parts of the show, actually. I really, at first, thought I would probably not like this. He really got on my nerves, but as the season went on, he just, kind of started, caring for Claire, and pretty soon a brother and sister relationship did come out of that. And I really kind of like Enrique now, of all things. Well, it's not Enrique, is what his name should be, because he's not Enrique. He's the changeling imposter, obviously. And he's keeping up the charade of being the imposter, so Claire's parents doesn't find out that her brother of all things is trapped in the dark realm. Oh boy, that's just fantastic. And then there's actually a new villain that I just have to talk about. So, oh boy, Angkor Wat. What can I say about this character, Angkor Wat? He might actually be my favorite villain. Not my favorite character of the show. That would obviously be Strickler. Strickler has some fantastic moments throughout this part of the season as well. I absolutely love this small moment where Strickler, because he doesn't want Jim to hurt him, he asks Angkor Wat to use some magic to combine his life with his mother's life. And there's a small moment where just before he was about to put this little thing in her tea, and once she drinks it, their lives would be magically intertwined. So if something happened to him, something would happen to her. Yeah, there's a small moment where he almost doesn't do it, because he actually does care for her. So he's doing this for two reasons. One, he wants to protect her. He actually does care for Jim's mom, which is kind of weird, I know, but he does care for Jim's mom, and it shows. And then there's this other reason why he's doing it. The other reason why he's doing it is obviously because he doesn't want to, of all things, get hurt by Jim. Jim's after him. You know, if anything happens to him, now something will happen to his mom. So Jim can't hurt him anymore. But there's this moment where he's thinking, am I even doing the right thing? And he almost doesn't do it. I really enjoyed Strickler's character throughout this entire part of the show. Even more than part one. Strickler is easily the best character of the show. He really is. But when it comes to Ink or Rot, he was just a fun villain. Very villainous, very evil, you know. And I like his story too. It's something. He has something to do with this ancient witch that tricked him. He was a troll, but he was tricked by this ancient witch to do his bidding, to do her bidding. And the only way someone could control him is through this magical ring, which Strickler has. And Strickler has been using him to get back at Jim for what he did to Gunmar, because he killed Gunmar's son and everything like that. And you got at Strickler at this point, he's gotta be thinking, does he really want to actually let Gunmar out? Like, a much better plan would be, he's got all of these imposters everywhere, we find out. A better plan for him would actually be to wait and take control of the world himself, you know? And I kind of feel like that's where his plan was going. And then, of course, we have the stuff that's going on with Jim. And the fact is, so I can't remember exactly the name of it, but there's this Heartstone of Gunmar, and there's 3 of them. And indeed, if you got all of the little stones of Gunmar and put them into the amulet, it would power him up, and he'd be powerful enough to hopefully defeat Gunmar. So his plan is to get all of these stones, walk into, and it's crazy, walk into the Darklands, get Claire's brother, and maybe, just maybe, kill Gunmar on the way out. That's basically his plan at this point. Pretty crazy. And there's a lot of good moments throughout this part of the season as well. But one of the best moments was that part with Strickler. And then there's this, you gotta admit this, Jim's mom, there's this one moment that really got to me at the end of this season was when, okay, so let's play out the series, right? So we have Jim, and he wants to get the final stone to hopefully defeat Gunmar. The one who has it is actually, that's right, the kind of main villain of the series. And what he has to do is he hopefully has to use this time machine to stop time, slow down time, and he hopefully wants to get it back. But he ends up using it because Claire was in trouble, so then he has to hopefully get Claire out of trouble. He has to help Blinky because Blinky was slowly turning back from a human being to a troll, which he spends a lot of time as a human being throughout this part of the show, and he's a fun character. I really like Blinky. Kind of a fatherly character for Jim, so I really do like that. But then he gets this idea to go after Angkor Wat. He goes after him, and time goes to normal, and he has his awesome fight where he indeed undoes the soul of Angkor Wat. So here he is, Angkor Wat is free. And Angkor Wat goes completely crazy and goes after Strickler for using him, just like his first master, which is this ancient witch, did in the first place. So, what's crazy to me is that Strickler has to ask Jim for help. You know, he goes to his house, and they end up coming up with an idea of setting up a trap at the house for Angkor Wat when his mom walks in through the door, of all things. And then Angkor Wat shows up, and then that's how his mom finds out that he's a troll hunter. And yeah, I'm surprised that she didn't pass out more, to be honest with you. Especially when she found out about, well, Strickler's real version, real self. It's a little evil looking. A little evil looking. Come on, Strickler's one of the best characters, though. And then there's this moment where she just has with her son, you know. Eventually, Angkor Wat gets to them. He cuts Strickler, and because their lives are tied together, it could kill both Strickler and Jim's mom. Jim doesn't want that, so they have to go to Troll Market, and Angkor Wat breaks into Troll Market. But there's this really fantastic moment where, as his mom is kind of on the deathbed, let's call it. And she does survive, obviously. She does get healed and everything like that. She has this moment where she talks to Jim, and she's such a great character. Jim's mom is one of the best characters of the show for me, just from this moment alone where she talks to Jim about, you know, wanting to be there for him, wanting to protect him and everything. I just loved it. I also found it funny later on, because I have seen the next season. I have seen the next season of when she starts painting. Yeah, that's great. That'll be in next season, though. But yeah, of all things, we have to go up against Angkor Wat. And I love the fact that Strickler is the one that gave him the idea of the eye. Using the eye cut to a specific way could power up the suit again to hopefully defeat Angkor Wat. And yes, he does defeat Angkor Wat. Boy, that was such an awesome battle. Such an awesome battle. Now, there are tons and tons of more awesome moments throughout the rest of this season, but I just pretty much wanted to talk about my favorite moments of the season, and definitely I would give this whole season probably an 8. An 8 out of 10. Like, the reason why I don't give it a 9 out of 10 is because I don't know, that there are just some moments, even though I love the show, there are just some moments where I'm expecting it to be more epic, and I guess because it's a kid show, I guess it's not as epic, but that doesn't mean that this show isn't epic. I just expected more out of it, but of course that will come on down the line. But still, 9 or 10, an 8 out of 10 is pretty good, but it's probably because I look at the whole season together, both part 1 and part 2, and there are just some moments where throughout the season I really don't like. So an 8 out of 10 isn't a bad score, I think, for Troll Hunters Season 1. But that is my review. Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts. What are your favorite moments about Troll Hunters? There's a lot of interesting moments from this season. Like, remember they get eaten by a lava troll and end up going out the back way. That was fun. That was fun. No, it wasn't. It wasn't fun to watch at all. But thank you guys for watching, and I am out. You know, just before I go, is it just me? Or do they have a lot of weird toilet jokes in this show? I mean, they go out of someone's butt at one point. They end up always in the bathroom. You know, that's just kind of weird. That's just something I kind of noticed throughout the show, but let me know your thoughts about it. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Before this goes any further, I am out. Bye.